Hi guys, Heather here. I'm going to be showing you how to set up a tank or enclosure for a PacMan frog. I just purchased a baby PacMan frog about 3 days ago, and I'm going to be moving him from his large critter tote into a 10-gallon tank right here behind me. Let me show you what I had him in the past few days. I had him in this large critter tote here with coconut soil, and I just thought that he might like something bigger and better. So I'm going to be showing you everything I use to set up his enclosure. I'm going to be doing partly bioactive. Right now I'm just going to add the coconut soil bedding, some decor here. I have 3 little decor plants and then his water dish that I purchased at PetSmart for a couple dollars. And I'm also going to be eventually adding some spider plants and also a patho plant. But since it's only a 10-gallon tank, I'm probably just going to do like 1 spider plant and 1 patho plant until I can upgrade him to something bigger when he gets older. Now let me show you. He's a baby. I had to put him in this little container while I'm setting up his tank. See if you can see him. He's hopping around. Let me try to take the lid off. Oops, he's trying to get out. There he is right there. That's Kermit the PacMan frog. I'll let you guys get a closer look on it once I'm finished setting up his tank. So let's put him back for now. And we're going to get started on the setup. So since I've only had him for 3 days, this is the loose coconut soil bedding that I purchased because I heard that this is one of the best types of soils to use for PacMan frogs. So I'm going to add this into his 10-gallon tank along with some more fresh coconut soil bedding. So let's get started. And this is what it looks like right here. Coconut soil bedding, natural loose by Thrive. And normally baby PacMan frogs should have at least 1 inch of soil to begin with. Now as he gets bigger, he's going to need at least 3 inches of soil because he loves to burrow down into the soil, usually during the daytime, and then he'll come out at night to explore and feed and all that, I've noticed. So I'm going to add some more, try to get at least 1 inch going in his tank. Let's see. I'm going to break it up a bit because it's a little clumpy. I'm just going to add a tad bit more. There we go. Okay, so I'm using my finger to measure, and let's see, I think this side's about 1 inch and over here's about a 1/2 inch, so I got to separate it, spread it out a little bit more. Okay, from the bottom to the top, It's literally about an inch, maybe a tiny bit more. So that's good since he's a baby. And now you have to spray their coconut soil with, I would say warm water, because you don't want them to get shocked if it's cold. So I'm going to use warm water. It is repti safe, so I make sure I always do that before setting up my reptiles enclosures. You don't want it to get too wet, and you also don't want it to be too dry. So I'm going to make sure it's nice and moist for him, because he loves the moisture and he needs to stay moist in order to survive. And it also helps keep the humidity between 50 and 80%, which is what it should be for a PacMan frog. And as far as temperature goes, PacMan frogs need to live in a climate between 75 and 85 degrees. So I might just have to pour some in here because the spray's taking a little long. Okay. And then I'm just gonna mix it around with my hands. So again, you don't want it to be too dry, but you also don't want it to be too wet. So I gotta make sure it's just perfect, moisted enough so that he's comfortable. I think I need a little bit more. And I will show you exactly what this looks like as soon as I'm finished. You want it to be a little clumpy, but not too clumpy. So. And I'm running out of water, so I'm going to grab another jug of repti safe water. Pour some in there. It's always important to use repti safe water when you're mixing their soil or even putting it in their water dish, just because the chlorine from tap water usually isn't safe for them. So I always treat mine with repti safe that I usually get from PetSmart. But I'm sure you can find it at maybe even Walmart or any type of reptile stores. Okay, so now we're going to add his decor. So again, I just have 3 little plants that I got from PetSmart. I think they were like $2 for this one, $1.19 for this one, and I think about $2.50 for this one, just to add some decoration, and also if he wants something to hide behind. So we're going to toss these in here. Okay. And I am eventually going to turn this into a bioactive enclosure, because I will be adding some isopods or springtails next week. So I do plan on ordering some of those, because springtails and isopods do help with the waste and the dirt or the soil, keeps it much cleaner. And also if you put live plants in there, the springtails and the isopods help keep the roots from drying out from your live plants. Give it another little spray. Okay. And now I'm going to be adding his water dish. Now, you don't want to have like a big deep bowl, because PacMan frogs, they could drown themselves if you have too deep of a bowl and they end up popping in it and they can't get out. So I like to use a shallow dish like this, and he usually likes to just sit in it and look out of his enclosure and just look around or get some moisture, bask in it, etc. So I'm going to add this there. I think I'll put this in the middle maybe. Yeah, there we go. Then I'm going to add some Rapti Safe water. I did clean this jug out, so it's thoroughly clean. Everything's thoroughly clean. The plants, the water dish, the tank, everything. So I'm going to add a little bit to his bowl. There we go. Give it a couple more sprays. I think he's going to like this much better than that large critter tote that he was in. And also I will be adding a pothos plant and a spider plant in his enclosure tomorrow. So I just got to get those sorted out. Make sure I have to plant them in organic soil. Just try to make it more bioactive and natural for Kermit, my PacMan frog. So far, he went from this little container here, just this little large critter tote, and now he has this nice 10-gallon enclosure with a couple more decor, more space to run around in or hop around in, should I say. Here's how it looks from the front and from the top. So I think he's really gonna like this. And now it is time to add Mr. Kermit into his enclosure, his tank. And I think I'm gonna give him a couple little sprays before I put him in there, just to try to moisten his skin up a bit. He's already anxious to get out. Okay, Kermit, here we go. All right, buddy, don't hop out on me, please. Okay. See if I can get a better view so you can see. Oopsie, he hopped out. Oops, oops, oops. Okay, I'm gonna throw him back in there. Ugh, I think he took a nasty poop on me. Ugh, did not expect that. Okay. I'm gonna have to keep the lid partially on because he is excited to get out of here. So I'm gonna set this down so I can try to get him in the enclosure and then show you how he's doing in his new enclosure. So let's set that down so I have two hands so he don't try to hop away. Here we go. Let me give him a little spray, a little spritz down. I know, Kermit. You're just anxious to get out of there. Yes. Oh, he looks so much better now. Okay, let's see Kermit. I'm gonna put his bowl down into, into his tank, so that way he don't hop out and start running around out here. Here we go. Look, that's him. Say hi, Kermit. Such a little cute guy, aren't you? Little fat baby. Okay, so here we go. Let's see if you want to go and see a new home. Oh, there you go. Oh, you're just hopping around. Let's see. Oh, he's already hiding behind his plant. Let's see. You can get a better look at him. There he is. He's already hiding behind one of his plants. but I think he's going to be really, really happy in here. So I'd also like to say that I do feed him earthworms and crickets. I have not offered him mealworms or silkworms or butterworms yet, but I will eventually. But I know that crickets, butterworms, mealworms, silkworms, giant mealworms, dubia roaches, what else? Oh, and the large earthworms. I bought him a container of large Canadian earthworms, and because he is a baby, I did not think he would be able to eat one of those, but I gave him one yesterday, and he slurped it up like it was a noodle. He loved it. So right now I'm doing 2 crickets a day, 1 earthworm at night, and he usually seems to get pretty full off of that. But once he gets older, bigger, then you normally only have to feed them about every other day. You can give them 2 large crickets or 1 large earthworm every other day or so, maybe even two earthworms if he seems like he's still hungry or if he'll take it from you. But this little guy, Kermit, right here, he snatched that earthworm out of my hand like poop. He was like, oh my gosh, this is delicious. But he seems like he's very happy so far. And look, there he is. He's in the corner here. There he is. You like your new enclosure, buddy? Huh? It's a lot bigger, more space. And he's also going to be getting some isopods and spring tails next week to help keep his soil and his enclosure more, much more cleaner. He will be getting two live plants just to make it more natural. And also remember that the humidity has to stay between 50 and 80%, and the temps should always be between 75 and 85 degrees. I will be adding a thermometer and hydrometer to his tank once I put him upstairs on his little table. So I think he's going to be a pretty happy frog. Say hi, Kermit. Anyway, so that's it for now. I hope you liked my video. Please subscribe, give me a big thumbs up, and if you have any questions about PacMan frogs, then just let me know. Oh, one more thing. Because I did mention that PacMan frogs usually love dubia roaches, I did start a colony of dubia roaches. So I have my own breeding colony going on. Here's how it's set up. There we go. I don't know if you can see one of the males right here. Sam. Anyway, I have 20 females and 10 males in here with some cucumbers for them to feed on and some egg cartons for them to hide under. I also have a heating pad in case it gets too chilly. But I'm definitely going to be breeding them and feeding the babies off to Mr. PacMan over here. And plus my chameleon. I also have a chameleon, a bearded dragon, and an African fat-tailed gecko. So I will be making other videos on their care and setup. But anyway, don't forget, if you like this video, give me a huge thumbs up. Subscribe if you'd like to, and ask me any questions that you might have. And if I don't know it, then I can do further research. But I'm pretty knowledgeable when it comes to reptiles. So thanks for watching. Bye.